Moving on to topic 4. Maintain and update records of workplace safety and health documents in accordance with legal and other requirements. Understanding the stakeholders involved in management reviews, coordinating the review sessions, and documenting them are important steps. I suppose maintaining and updating records is the one that gets on my nerves most.
Yes, I know it can be frustrating and challenging. However, if you do this regularly over time, you will realize the updating process is a lot simpler and less tedious. The key is in following the legal requirements.
So how do we adhere to the WSH legal requirements? These are the areas we will look at in this section on maintaining and updating records according to WSH legal requirements. Specifically, we are looking at records and how to obtain the latest WSH legal requirements for compliance purposes. Here is how we maintain records of WSH legal documents. Monitor permit and license status to ensure their continual validity. Apply for renewal of WSH permits, licenses, and written content in accordance with legal requirements from relevant government agencies. Coordinate preparation and submission of reports required by the WSH legal and other requirements, and maintain proper records of WSH legal documents in accordance with organizational procedures. From the earlier slides, we understand proper record keeping and submission are essential to managing WSH programs. Can you identify from the list which documents are not WSH legal documents? Take a few seconds to consider your answer. Well done if your answer is B and D. It would be the birth certificate and the marriage certificate. Let's now look at what comprises WSH legal documents. Records of WSH legal documents include the following: the legal register, permit and licenses, correspondence with government agencies, training records, reports required by the WSH legal and other requirements. The legal register lists WSH legal and other requirements applicable to the organization's processes, products or services, and areas of concern. It is also important to indicate when the register is established and reviewed. Here is an example of the legal register. The left column indicates the title of the act or regulation. From here, you can determine the application of the various acts based on the location to either the workshop, factory, or other parts of the working space. As for applying the act to a process or activity, you can see from the column on the right. The application can be to entire factory operations or just specific overhead cranes. It is important to understand each act or regulation based on its application to the location and process or activity. The context of the act or regulations becomes clear. We have covered the legal documentation requirements. Now here are lists of the applicable WSH legal and other requirements. This includes Work Injury Compensation Act, Globally Harmonized System of Classification and Labeling of Chemicals, Environmental Public Health Act, Infectious Disease Act, Singapore Standards and Industrial Standards and Guidelines, etc. Hey, now that we have all these information including the WSH regulations and requirements, shall we tabulate a legal register?
Do you need help with this job? You can refer to the earlier list of regulations and requirements and fill the relevant ones into this sample legal register shown here. Make sure you pick those which are relevant to all OMAX requirements.
Great! This template is helpful. Thanks.
Look at this sample of a legal register that we viewed earlier. Is it similar to what you have done for Ruth? It should be similar. Do note that there are two columns of application, one based on location and the other based on process or activity. To update records of WSH legal documents, first compile and document a legal register. Then obtain updates on amendments on new WSH legal and other requirements. This has to be according to organizational procedures, and updates should be from credible sources such as government websites or documents. Lastly, record updates on the organization or legal register of applicable WSH legal and other requirements to keep it current. The means of assessing legal updates include: firstly, sources of new or amendment of WSH legal and other requirements. This can be government agencies, WSH officers, WSH auditors, professional bodies, etc. Another source would be through the Attorney General's Chamber. Secondly, subscriptions on legal update service. And thirdly, electronic notification on public comments and release of Singapore standards. In addition, clarify with relevant authorities on interpretation of new or amendment of WSH legal and other requirements. The relevant authorities are as listed. These include various ministries as expected, such as the Ministry of Manpower, Ministry of Environment, and other providers such as other WSH professional bodies. In Topic 4, we learned about maintaining and updating records of workplace safety and health documents in accordance with legal and other requirements. With new knowledge acquired, we hope you have identified some areas of improvements at your workplace.